Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Games Workshop announced new miniatures for the Ultramarines, and of course I would like to use this opportunity to share with all of you my first impressions and my opinion about these brand new miniatures. As usual, this is just my opinion, so of course I invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about these new characters and units for the Ultramarines. Let's start talking about Marneus Calgar, the chapter master of Ultramarines. He already had a miniature, but now he has a brand new one. In this case, it's good to see him again wearing Terminator armor. I consider this new miniature as a huge upgrade if we compare it with the previous one. I like everything about this miniature, because for example, with the previous one I didn't like the pose that much, I didn't like the power armor that much. But when I look at this miniature right here, it's like, okay, this is a proper miniature for a chapter master of the Ultramarines. The base is great, much better than the previous one. It gives him much more presence, and that's always welcome for a miniature as important as this one. It's not only that if we start looking from the bottom to the top, we're going to see like a lot of different details, but most of them are like proper Ultramarine details, and I like to see that. It's like, I don't know, it's like we can take a captain in Terminator armor and we can take it over the top, and this is going to be still much better than that, because I don't know, there's too many things going on here. That cape is fantastic, those fists are awesome, the pose is the best in my opinion. It's very aggressive, like this nice almost shooting pose with the fists like that. It's like, I don't know, it has like a lot of presence and personality. Maybe I think that it would be nicer if he had a little bit more of extra decoration on the chest, but still it feels good. I cannot complain about that, and for me the most important thing is that I like this miniature much more than the previous one. So when I look at this one, it's like I don't even want to complain about anything. I think it's great. I look at the miniature, there's like a lot of nice amount of details everywhere, and it's just not just details, it's Ultramarine details. Like, there are not just things that you see in a regular Space Marine, there are the kind of things that you expect to see on an Ultramarine. I even like a lot that sword that is there, that I'm not sure how is he going to use that or when, but still it's like a nice addition to the miniature. I noticed that it was there in some previous miniatures of Calgar, but as I said, I'm not going to complain. I think that this miniature is awesome. And talking about awesome miniatures, now we have to talk about Kato Sicarius, captain of the Victrix Guard. The miniature is awesome again. I have to repeat that I like a lot what I'm seeing here, but of course I have to say something, and it's that personally I like to assemble most of my miniatures with helmets. And in this case, it seems that we're not going to have that option. Because according to the article in Warhammer Community, we have two choices of heads, both of them without helmet, like a more calm pose and a more aggressive one. So it seems like there's not going to be a choice for me to use that helmet on him. And it makes me sad, because it's one of the best helmets that I have ever seen. So it makes me sad that I'm not going to be able to put that on the head of a miniature. So that's my biggest issue. Aside from that, I cannot complain about this miniature. It's a fun pose, I like it, I'm not going to complain about that. But what I like the most about this miniature, it's the power armor, because that gold trim feels very good to me. It's like very fancy, and I don't know, I look at this miniature and it's like, okay, this feels like a very important character, and that's how it should be for Kato Sicarius. Like, it's like the captain of the Victrix Guard, it has like a very important job. I'm especially in love with the power armor of this character, because it's difficult for me to think about a miniature with a power armor more beautiful and nicely decorated than this one. To be honest, like, I will need to think about, okay, which character has a more beautiful power armor than this one. And I don't know, the cape also feels very elegant, the helmet is great, fantastic. Again, it's one of the things that I like the most about this miniature. And also that banner is also very beautiful and nice. It gives the miniature even much more presence. I don't know, it has like a nice calm pose, very, I don't know, like a very elegant presence, and that power armor, it's great. For sure, at some point you're going to see me painting this character on the channel, because I think that it looks awesome, and probably is one of my favorite reveals in a while, so I'm very into this character. And let's finish talking about him, because if not, I'm going to repeat 20 times that it's an awesome miniature, that I love it and it looks fantastic. As I said, Kato Sicarius is the captain of the Victrix Guard, and now let's talk about the new Victrix Guard. According to Warhammer community and the article that they posted about this unit, it's a unit of 3 miniatures, and we can assemble one of them as a chapter ancient, one of them as a chapter champion, and if not, we can just assemble all of them as regular honor guards. Where do I start with them? Here we have a unit of 3, and each one of them is so different and so unique that I don't even know with which one to start, so let's start with that banner. So that's the thing, this is supposed to be a chapter ancient that is different from a regular company ancient, so I guess that they wanted to make us feel or know for sure that this is a much more important ancient than a regular company ancient, but still maybe they went a little bit too over the top. But still, I'm not going to complain about that because that banner looks awesome. Probably the biggest one that we have ever seen, but still, I want to see that in person. I think that it looks great, and it's so big that I can perfectly see everything that is going on that banner. And thanks to that, it's also going to be easy to paint because we will have like a bigger surface. But still, it's like a little bit comical at some point to see that the banner is like almost 3 times bigger than the Space Marine. But as I said, I don't want to complain about this. I think it's like a really nice addition for this unit, and it feels very, very important. Then in the middle we have the chapter champion that, again, I suppose that is much more important than a regular company champion. And when I look at him, it feels very important, it feels very intimidating. I like that pose, it's like a very nice walking pose with 2 swords. That's very unique. I mean, I have seen that a lot. I have seen people kit bashing miniatures to have like 2 swords, but having like a miniature with actually 2 swords in the official instructions, it looks great. It also has like a lot of nice decoration. It feels like a character even. There's like a lot of things going on these miniatures that makes them look much more unique. They have like a big presence, and specifically this chapter champion has one of the most unique shoulder pads that I have ever seen. And I don't know, that helmet is great. I really wanted to mention that helmet because it seems like there's going to be like a lot of different leftover bits. And that's going to be great because, of course, it's always great when we're able to use some leftover bits to turn some generic Space Marines into the chapter that we're collecting. So, if for example I get this unit and I decide that I'm not going to assemble one chapter champion, I can have that helmet and it's going to look awesome on, for example, some Blade Guard veterans or even some nice looking sergeant. I also like that that the chapter champion has very nice gold trim on the power armor, makes him look much more elegant and more unique, because I don't know, yes, Ultramarines, but these ones are the best looking Ultramarines that I have seen in a while. They look fantastic, they look great, and this is such a nice looking unit. Anyway, so far we saw 2 members of a unit that, if you tell me that they are characters, I will believe it because they look awesome. Aside from that, we have also this other alternative sculpt for all of these miniatures in the unit, for like the 3 of them. And these ones are awesome too, they are great. I mean, look at them, these are really cool looking Ultramarines. The helmets, the poses, the capes, those axes, those mastercrafted folk carabines, it's like, what, they have everything. What else can I ask for these miniatures? They look fantastic, they look great. I don't know, I like a lot of them seen here. It's like, back in the day, I decided to turn my leftover Space Marines into Ultramarines, and I don't regret that because now, knowing that I'm going to be able to have these miniatures as part of my army, it's going to be great. Like, really, at some point you're going to see these miniatures on the channel, so wait for it. And I would like to mention something about Ultramarines in general, and it's like, they are the poster boys of Warhammer 40k. They are what we think about when we think about generic Space Marines. If we go to a store and we pick a box of generic Space Marines, they are going to be painted as Ultramarines in the cover. They have a huge weight on the lore of Warhammer 40k. They are very important. However, for their miniatures, they were lacking like a lot of personality in terms of, yes, they had a lot of different characters, they had a Primarch, but still, they didn't have any kind of unit for themselves. Like, for example, Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Black Templars, Space Wolves. Those chapters, they have unique units and characters. Like, they have like a lot of personality. When we see them, they are not just generic Space Marines. And in the case of the Ultramarines, it was like, these ones are very important in the lore. Why they don't have something like this too? I mean, they should have it. And now I'm very happy to see that they have like the Victrix Guard there. It's like, oh, this is something that they were needing so bad, in my opinion. Because previously with the Marneus Calgar, there were 2 Victrix Guard, and it was like 2 monopose Space Marines. Now we have like a proper unit with a lot of different options, nice assemblings, extra leftover bits that we can use to customize other Ultramarines. I don't know, I'm very happy about seeing these reveals for the Ultramarines. And with all of that being said, that's it. That's everything that I wanted to say about these miniatures, because if I continue talking, I'm going to repeat everything that I already said. So I will leave it here for now. And again, I would like to invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about these new miniatures for the Ultramarines. As always, if you enjoy the content of the channel and you would like to help me to continue improving and growing, I invite you to check the link to my Patreon in the description. And of course, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.